Good morning, sir.
Yeah, please come in.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir.
Good morning. Please have a seat, Mr.
Thank
Muhammed.
you, sir.
Can you tell us in very brief about yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm Arshad Muhammed, sir, coming from Cochin, Kerala. Currently, I'm an officer trainee of the Indian Audit and Account Service.
In which one, pardon?
Indian Audit and Account Service, sir.
Okay. In Shimla?
Yes, sir. The National Academy of Audit and Accounts in Shimla, sir. Currently undergoing training here at the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy as part of our attachments. I see myself, sir, as somebody who has a temperament and wish for public service, sir, which is why I'm here, which is why I'm attempting the civil services examination, sir.
Okay. You are from Kollam?
Sir, my birth district is Kollam, sir, but I shifted to
Which?
Ernakulam when I was 3 months old, sir.
Ernakulam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your father is from Alappuzha?
Yes, sir.
What was the earlier name of Alappuzha?
Sir, during the colonial time, it was referred to as Alappi,
Alappi.
and now it is Alappuzha, sir.
And how do you like your current job, audit and accounts? It's very expanding job with quick promotion.
Sir,
And that, yeah.
Pardon me, sir. Sir, actually, it was my second option, sir, in my previous attempt when I got into the rank list, sir, because...
So what was your rank?
It was 276, sir.
Oh, you didn't opt for police?
No, sir. My second preference was Indian Audit and Account Service, and because of the job profile. And definitely, sir, I am very much interested in the service. I'm very satisfied with the kind of training that we have. And it has opened up new opportunities also, sir.
So now your second preference has changed to foreign service?
Sir, I have kept my options open, sir, because currently I am indifferent to the foreign service or whether to continue in the audit and accounts, sir. So I just kept my options open, sir. That's all, sir.
Okay. Okay, and what's up, please?
Arshad,
Sir.
why you want to become IAS officer? Simple question.
Sir.
Why IAS officer?
Sir, it's a mix of two reasons, sir. One, sir, is definitely the public interest aspect, sir. For me, sir, given that I grew up, sir, enjoying the benefits that the government provides. I graduated from Delhi University, a publicly funded university. I personally believe, sir, that in our life we have a certain debt that we have to give back to society, and that constitutes public services. So the opportunity for public service is definitely, sir, one of the reasons. The other, sir, why specifically IAS, sir, would be because administration, sir, and because it covers multiple domains, sir. So I get an opportunity to work in different domains, different areas, in different job profiles, sir, through the Indian Administrative Service, sir, with the legal backing and responsibility. This is why, sir, the Administrative Service.
Public service, good idea.
Thank you, sir.
You see, today the kind of law and order problems we have,
Sir.
the administration we have, we are not failing on the part of administration. Administration is doing well,
Sir.
but law and order is not done well.
Sir.
You agree?
Sir, I agree, sir, there is scope for improvement when it comes to law and order, sir. That there are different areas with respect to policing where we can improve upon, sir.
Yes. So on the same analogy, why you did not opt for IPS? The public service is much more required in IPS than today an IAS. I want an IAS officer, but more than that, I want a dashing, dynamic IPS officer to take care of the public law and order. That is lacking seriously in every city.
Sir.
Tell me, why not IPS?
Sir,
For the same public service.
Yes, sir. I agree, sir. It is a very important part of public service. But when looking at, sir, my interests and my capabilities, sir, in two aspects, sir. One, IPS is, in fact, a very technical job, sir, in the sense, in terms of policing, crime investigation, intelligence, etc. So it is quite specialized in that sense, sir. And my interests go much different, sir. And secondly, sir, in terms of capability, sir, I believe that the uniform service demands a certain physicality. certain core aspects to leading let's say a police station or a police force, uniformed officers, which I don't see myself, sir, and therefore I don't think I'll be a good fit.
You think you lack the leadership qualities?
Not leadership, sir. I mean in a more physical sense, sir, because it is a very physically stressful as well as demanding job, sir. 24/7 policing, sir. So in that sense, sir, I don't think from a physical aspect I would be fit for the job.
Did you apply for IPS last time when you got selected in audit accounts?
Sir, I did keep that as my fourth preference, sir.
You kept the fourth preference?
Yes, sir.
So that time you found yourself capable of doing all this. What you are now saying, you are not capable of doing anything.
Sir,
about a year back only, last year.
Yes, sir, last year only.
So
sir.
last year you were capable of doing everything. That you kept
Last
IPS
year
as
you
the
thought
fourth choice.
you were good
Yes,
for IPS.
Now you are saying you are not capable of doing all these things within 1 year. Your physique has not changed. Your thinking must not have changed.
Sir.
Nothing else has changed, but suddenly you shifted. And
Sir,
you are saying you are not capable. Last year you were capable.
yes, sir. But then when interacting with other officers also and getting to know the services from inside better, sir, last year, sir, given it was my first interview also, sir, I placed preferences for all, sir.
Okay.
And based upon the
You tell me
preferences,
the name of the officer whom did you meet in police, and he said it's a bad service.
sir,
You started interacting with officers.
Yes, sir.
You interacted with some police officers, and they
I
say
did,
police is the worst service.
In fact, they did not say in such terms, sir.
Then-
I met with a current batchmate of mine, sir, who is in the Indian Audit and Account Service now. Earlier, he was with the Rajasthan Police Service. And he talked to me about the physically demanding nature, as well as the kind of commitments that we have, and the specialized nature also, sir. So given that, sir, I felt Indian Audit and Account Services somewhere I can do better than
Okay.
police service.
So, Arshad, you do not take decision yourself. You take your decision based on somebody else's opinion who is not IPS himself. He is RPS officer.
Yes, sir.
So, the serving the country, etc., that has gone on in the air. Anyway, number 2. Your extracurricular activity says something very interesting. It says, watching analysis video of historical military intelligence operations.
Yes, sir.
This all matches perfectly with IPS. You are having extracurricular activities, you are not following your interest. You don't want to. Will you follow your interest in audit accounts or IAS? Sitting in IAS chamber, you will be doing IAS activities in the district. You will be doing this because it's your interest. How do you match the two?
Sir, in fact, that is a hobby, sir. So, in terms of what we pursue as a career and what we pursue as a hobby, I think there will be difference, sir. Because administration is something I would like to do every day, sir, as part of my career. But watching military history or national security videos is something, a different domain, sir, which I would like to read or learn more about because it is a stress buster or it provides a different domain, sir.
Okay. Well, my last question. You are an economist, right?
Yes, sir.
See, when the country was divided, India, Pakistan, we had economists. Pakistan had economists.
Yes, sir.
Today they must be having big people economists. Why Pakistan? You are interested in IFS.
Yes, sir.
Certainly you will be interested in these countries.
Yes, sir.
Why did Pakistan economy fail so miserably that today they don't have anything? And fortunately our economy is very good. So why it failed, Pakistan economy? We are the same people.
Yes, sir.
It's only 75 years that we are apart.
Sir.
Why they failed?
So ultimately, in my opinion, I think it boils down to political economy, sir. Because for larger macroeconomic stability, let's say, sir, for example, business investments to come in or investor sentiment to be right, or for economic stability at large, we also need political stability, sir. If the system of government is such that it varies, that if there is an upheaval between democracy and then military rule coming in, etc., sir, then it is very difficult, sir, for inflow of capital, for greater investment and thus better economic growth, sir. So that I think is one reason that the issues in the political system translate to deficiencies in the economic system,
Any
sir.
the reason why funds inflow is not there in Pakistan? Any other reason?
Sir, I would also point out the kind of spending that the governments have had over the years, sir. Because with a greater percentage of military expenditure that is coming in, with their focus on domains such as wars with
Main
India.
reason why funds are not coming to that country.
So I would say the political instability, terrorism, and
Terrorism.
Yes, sir.
Terrorism. Nobody wants to put their money in
Yes,
a
sir.
place where every day there are terrorist activities.
So,
Anyway, sure.
thank you, sir.
Are you familiar with Hindi?
Sir, I can speak Hindi, sir.
चलिए
for
हम हिंदी
basic
में ही
needs.
बात करेंगे आपसे.
Sir.
आपने भी कहा पर्सनैलिटी एंड हॉबी ये दो अलग अलग चीजें हैं.
Yes, sir.
हिटलर की पर्सनैलिटी के बारे में एक राइटर ने उसकी हॉबीज को जानकर, उसके एक्सेंट को जानकर उसकी पर्सनैलिटी के बारे में लिखा और 95% करेक्ट लिखा. आप कैसे कह रहे हैं कि ये दोनों अलग अलग चीजें हैं?
Sir, may I reply in English, sir? if
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
Sir, what I meant, sir, was in terms of the career and in terms of hobbies, there could be a difference. Though I agree, sir, that the kind of hobbies we pursue is a reflection upon the personality that we have. But, sir, I see myself, for example, sir, we are engaged in a particular vocation and that we have domain knowledge also in that. But if the hobby is something different apart from what we do, sir, in my case, sir, something different like reading upon military and intelligence operations, sir, it gives me an insight, a new perspective, sir, into a very different aspect, which is national security, sir, which may help me into my personality in my career also. It may not, sir, but that is something I do, sir, because it is different from the career that I follow.
आपको ये नहीं लगता कि ये एग्रेशन जो पार्ट है,
Yes, sir.
जो आपकी ये हॉबी है,
Yes, sir.
हिस्टोरिकल मिलिट्री एंड इंटेलिजेंस ऑपरेशंस का वीडियो देखना, ये आपको नहीं लगता कि आपके अंदर का जो एग्रेशन है, ठीक है, वो उसका रिफ्लेक्शन है? और ये रिफ्लेक्शन सबसे ज्यादा आईपीएस में काम आता है?
I believe it is equally important in the administrative service also, sir. For example, sir, if you are, I'm looking more at the strategic aspects of these operations, the kind of planning that went into it. For example, sir, the Home Secretary is not from the police service, sir. He happens to be an IAS officer, sir, as well as other members of the National Security Establishment.
IPS is Home Secretary.
आप एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हैं और आप वहाँ के कलेक्टर हैं, डीएम हैं आप.
Yes, sir.
और कोई घटना हो जाती है, कोई इंसिडेंस होता है,
Sir.
जहाँ आप पहुँचते हैं, आपका आईपीएस भी आपके साथ पहुँचता है, एसपी भी आपका पहुँचता है,
Yes, sir.
लेकिन वो टैकल नहीं कर पा रहा है.
Sir.
लेकिन आपको ये है कि कैसे इसको टैकल करना चाहिए, मैंने ये देखा है, ये समझा है.
Yes, sir.
आप कैसे उसको लीड करेंगे फिर, जबकि वो सारा का सारा काम एसपी को करना है?
Sir, if it is a commissionerate, sir, then of course I would only give my suggestions on how it is to be done, because the law and order then is there is greater
इस
autonomy
पूरे
for
टाइम
that.
को क्या करेंगे? आप सजेशन देंगे, फिर वो इम्प्लीमेंट करेगा,
Yes, yes.
इसमें किसका लॉस है? आपको
Sir,
नहीं लगता कि आपको ही आईपीएस होना चाहिए वहां पर?
sir, I
नहीं.
think I can
Check.
do better as an administrative service officer, sir.
ओके. एक क्वेश्चन मेरा ये बताइए कि फर्स्ट बैटल ऑफ पानीपत
Yes, sir.
जानते हैं आप?
Yes, sir.
उसका वॉर मेथड क्या था, वॉरफेयर मेथड क्या था, उसका नाम क्या था?
Sir, it was an open, I am sorry, sir, I don't remember the name of the war method, but it was an open plain strategy where where Babur's forces kept cannons to distract the, I believe it is flanking, sir, a form of flanking was used, where there was a distraction at the front to the enemies, and then from sides, from the soldiers from Babur's army then flanked the enemy and...
आप नाम नहीं जानते?
no, sir, I don't know the name. No, sir.
तुगलमा पद्धति, तुगलमा मेथड.
Tuglama method. Thank you, sir.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज में जो उनके करेंसीज हैं,
Yes, sir.
उसमें जबरदस्त डिक्लाइन देखा जा रहा है.
Yes, sir.
रीजन क्या है?
So some of the reasons could include, sir, one, in terms of imported inflation, sir. So therefore, there is a depreciation of value of the developing countries' currency, sir. Example in India, sir, given how we are reliant on crude oil and crude oil prices at the global level, how we import a lot of sunflower oil, so that is from Russia, Ukraine. So imported inflation affects us, sir. Second could be, sir, in the larger economic structure, when there is a hike in interest rates in, let's say, the dollar. So what happens is that the capital outflows happen, and because dollar is then seen better than the rupee, that can also be one of the reasons for fluctuations, sir.
हिंडनबर्ग फाइल्स के बारे में बताइए.
Sir, Hindenburg Research, sir, is an organization that focuses on trying to find out, in their words, trying to find out manipulation of stocks, frauds, etc. in stock markets.
क्यों इसका नाम हिंडनबर्ग है?
Sir, I believe, sir, there was an airship, sir, which blew up. The Hindenburg was the airship which blew up completely due to man-made causes. So therefore, that's a Hindenburg disaster, sir. Air balloon, sir. So they use the same name because these are completely avoidable man-made disasters in the economic sector, and that is what they're trying to point out.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
साउथ इंडिया नॉर्थ इंडिया के बदले मोर प्रॉस्परस क्यों है? आपको क्या लगता है?
Sir, by prosperous, sir, if the definition is on human development, sir.
Everyday economical development.
Sir, as a whole, sir, I think, sir, the human development or in terms of economy also, the development aspects could be better maybe in the south because of political decisions to spend more of the budget on healthcare, education and other social expenditures, sir. Though there are also certain states in North India, sir, for example, Himachal Pradesh, which do extremely well in the SDG index because of similar
लेकिन टोटलिटी में साउथ इंडिया जो है,
Yes,
वो नॉर्थ इंडिया से ज़्यादा प्रॉस्परस है.
Culture and all that.
हाँ, कल्चरली, हिस्टोरिकली, आप एक रीजन बताइए हिस्टोरिकल क्यों प्रॉस्परस है?
Sir, I would say probably it is because of the coastlines. So greater maritime trade is a possibility. That means greater interaction with the outside world.
Politically?
So politically, I would say, so there were more stable. Historically, sir, there were more stable kingdoms or dynasties in the south, sir. Given geographical separations like the Vindhya and Satpura hills, etc. Sir. So the kind of changes that happened in the north in medieval and ancient India, sir, may not have happened much in South India, sir, which gave rise to political stability leading to possible economic growth, sir.
माइक्रोचिप क्राइसिस के बारे में जानते हैं आप?
Yes, sir, I think so, sir. It is a semiconductor shortage, sir, that has been happening. So during the COVID crisis, due to supply constraints, there were huge issues in getting semiconductors from countries like Taiwan to the Western as well as other countries. So this affected the automobile sector, defense manufacturing, etc., sir. Sir, another aspect also, sir, is there is now a tariff war happening in the semiconductor industry between the United States and China, sir. So, for example, companies like Intel are trying to set up their own foundries in the US.
इंडिया के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या है?
So, I believe India's opportunity, sir, is to provide the right investment for chip designing and chip manufacturing that can happen. So, foundry is a very highly capital intensive sector. Nevertheless, sir, because of the general sentiment of delinking from supply chains connected to China, I think India has the opportunity to become the alternative. We have a democratic structure. We have allies in the Western world, in the global economy. We are seen as a bright spot in the global economy today, sir. And therefore, sir, I think possibility of chip design and chip manufacture exists in India, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Arshad,
Sir.
tell me 5 ways how we can stop the manipulation of prices in the stock market, prices of, let's say, stocks in the stock market.
So I believe one way is by having, which is already being followed, sir, having circuit breakers in the exchange, sir, stock exchange. So which ensures that if beyond a certain value of depreciation or appreciation, automatic circuit breakers shut off the trade for some time or for the rest of the day, sir. So second could be, sir, trying to regulate short selling, sir, which we do in India, but not necessarily, not in the other economies like in the US, so short selling is allowed, sir. So having regulation on short selling would be another way, sir. So third, I would say, is having greater transparency, sir, and laws which mandate greater transparency in terms of board proceedings, etc., sir, which can help the investors also understand more and reduce information asymmetry. So fourth, I would say, sir, is so these are three that suddenly come to mind, sir.
All right, not an issue. Just tell me why the like spy agency of Israel is considered to be one of the best spy agencies in the world.
Sir, because sir, two reasons I would say, sir. One
Also,
is,
tell me the name of the like agency that they have.
sir, Mossad is the name of the Israeli External Intelligence Agency, sir.
Mhm.
Two reasons why they are considered the best, sir. One would be the kind of operations that they undertake to support Israeli citizens or Israeli nationals across the world, sir. Their mandate is not just within country but abroad. So they have undertaken well-planned operations, like for example, in the Entebbe airport in Uganda, where they rescued Israeli hostages on an Air France flight, if I'm not wrong, sir. And where they traveled all the way from Israel to Africa in order to rescue them, sir. So kind of operations is one, sir. Second would be, sir, the defense industrial complex in Israel is highly developed, sir. So Mossad also invests in the latest technology, spyware, etc., sir. And this is also seen, for example, sir, in the NSO group in Israel, which is very much at the forefront in terms of cyber warfare. So I think utilization of such new frontiers in technology also helps Mossad to be at the top of their game, sir.
Right. So recently it was reported that like one of the spyware, like
Yes, sir.
which is spying on the, let's say, like topmost people like from the government, from intelligence agencies, was manufactured by Israel.
Yes, sir.
Right. So can you please name the spyware?
So I believe it is called Pegasus, sir, and it is a software where that is on WhatsApp. It can be installed and then it can be used to through WhatsApp. It is installed, and the software can enable us to know the chats, other history, whatever is the details on the phone, sir. So that is the software that was in use, sir.
And recently, one of the journalists from, he was a resident of Saudi Arabia,
Yes,
but
sir.
like he was, let's say, reporting against Saudi Arabia, residing in USA,
Yes,
and
sir.
he was killed inside an embassy,
Yes, sir.
right? And like it is believed that in killing and tracing that particular journalist, there was role of Pegasus software.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So when it comes to usage of such kind of sophisticated spyware, where traceability is very low by
Yes,
the
sir.
intelligence agencies and also by other organizations. So how are we prepared to tackle such things?
So from an Indian perspective, sir, what we can have is greater, I would say, sir, seeing the model that is there in the US, where there is a greater accountability for these executive agencies to the legislature, sir. For example, sir, the Senate Intelligence Committee in the US looks into CIA's foreign activities, operations, etc. They are read into it, they follow their Secrets Act. So similarly, sir, maybe our parliament could also have and empowered intelligence committees which are notified of such operations to ensure that not only secrecy maintained, but at the same time there's a certain amount of accountability which ensures that rights of citizens are not violated if they are, sir. Sir, it's a sub judice, sir, in the sense the Supreme Court is investigating into it, so I don't know about its extent of its use, if at all, there in India, sir.
Right. Just one more question from this area.
Yes, sir.
Is recently ChatGPT was launched, right?
Yes, sir.
So this has the potential of revolutionizing the way how we interact with computers. Basically earlier, whenever we wanted to get some information, we used to Google it.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, the kind of questions that you asked is answered in a very personalized way.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what do you think, what kind of technologies they have used in let's say developing such kind of software or program?
Sir, I'm not sure about the details, sir, but I do know that a form of AI and machine learning systems are being utilized, where ChatGPT learns from searches made by users across the internet as well as inputs that we give, sir. In fact, I have used ChatGPT, sir, so it reminded me, some of my friends, when we were during our training, we wanted to check out how the interface was, and we realized that it gives answers to almost anything that we ask. In fact, sir, we asked ChatGPT if it could generate a poem on on auditors.
Right,
So
yeah.
it did generate a poem, sir. So in fact, because I'm part of the literary committee, sir, one of my friends said, now your committee has no work to do. The magazine could be done by ChatGPT, sir. But there are ethical issues also there, sir. This is the technology that I'm aware of, sir. I haven't read too much into it, sir.
Okay, all right. So I would like to pass on to Chairman, sir.
Okay, so I think this is all for now,
Sir.
and you may wait outside for a few minutes.
Sure,
Then
sir.
we'll call you again to
Okay, sir.
give you our assessment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, may I come in?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. Morning, sir. Thank you,
Please
sir.
sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Arshad. Well, since you are already a civil servant,
Sir.
so you have quite learnt many things.
Thank you,
And
sir.
only thing I would like to say is that some points you will have to brush up your answers with clarity. Like when Mr. Goyal asked you about why not IPS, your interest is in all those related activities,
Yes, sir.
but you don't, you have not preferred IPS,
Sir.
whereas last time you had.
Yes, sir.
So you have to have a good answer, suitably good answer for that.
Got it, sir.
And everything else is, I think, if you
See,
could.
so yaar, ye the pen, why do you put so many pens in the right pocket? Down below? Outside.
Oh, sir, here?
Outside court.
Outside.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sir. It
There are
was
many
a-
pens, huh?
Sir, 2 pens I always keep. I'm sorry, sir. It is a.
Pen can be put here if you want to put.
Yes, sir.
Don't, that is
don't
not the
put
place
pens
for the
here.
pens.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right?
I'm sorry, sir. Yes.
Ah,
And one thing, don't lean forward while answering.
little bit
Ah.
relax. This you have to prepare very well for this IPS answer.
Sir.
You can't say that some RPS fellow told me that it is a demanding service. What is demanding? If when you are a deputy commissioner,
Yes, sir.
it is 24/7 job. Who says it is not?
I agree,
Only
sir.
police
it
is 24/7. IAS is not
Even
24/7.
IPS, when there is a flood,
There is a
No, how
flood, there is a
basically-
calamity, there is a murder in that 2 at the night.
I agree, sir.
There is some dacoity, there is some industrial fire
Yes, sir.
in your district. You have to rush.
Sir.
It's 24/7. You
Yes,
can't demean the IPS fellow. Sir,
Of
hey,
course
you are
not, sir.
24/7. I am enjoying as IAS. I will enjoy as IAS. Can't say. IFS is 48/7,
Yes,
not
sir.
24.
Yes, sir.
Every time on your hooks for
Yes.
every information
Yes, sir.
in the country. Pass on or whatever instruction.
and when there is crisis, as he has
Yeah.
rightly said,
Crisis mein to
Definitely,
he is the
sir.
boss, he is the person, IFS is the person. And in the crisis, similar way, IPS is the person.
Sir.
He is doing the same service.
Yes, sir.
So you be prepared for that.
Got it, sir.
Next time, Pakistan economy, you should know, you are economist.
Sir.
Main reasons, terrorism,
Sir.
political will,
Yes,
changing governments, short answer, बात खत्म.
Sir.
हाँ जी.
बस मुझे एक चीज़ है कि आप जब जवाब दे रहे हैं तो कई बार सर बोल रहे हैं
हर बार नहीं.
हर बार
Okay,
नहीं।
sir.
इसकी फ्रिक्वेंसी खत्म करिए ठीक है जहाँ जरूरत होती है वहाँ पे बुलाएं हर जगह नहीं सर तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जा रहा है बाकी अच्छा है
Thank you, sir.
और greeting में only one greeting, good morning sirs, not to everyone.
Okay,
ये तो पहले ही बताया हुआ, must have told you. Only once, good morning sirs,
Sir.
that's all. Not to individual.
Got it, sir.
And also, Arshad, since you're from like economics background, that's
Yes,
why
sir.
I asked a question from that area,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So you should be knowing like what are the way forwards because of Hindel, Berg report, Adani Group has been
Yes, sir.
accused of so many things.
Yes, sir.
So they have created their shell companies. So there should be a mechanism of traceability.
Yes,
I mean
sir, traceability.
that can be one solution. Then circuit breakers that you have talked about. So this is particular to the platform through which trading is being done. Let's say
sir.
like HDFC Securities or Zerodha or some other platforms. Some platforms do offer these services, some platforms do not offer this. So it is the thing. Apart from this, SEBI is playing a greater role into the thing. So SEBI is watchful of the activities that are happening. But in the recent case, people are accusing SEBI also of not being proactive in taking actions. right? So like SEBI being an independent organization, it should be perceived by the individuals around India, around the world, that like it is doing its activities, you know, as an like independent organization, not under the pressure of some like, you know, like big corporates or you know, some government functionaries, right? So there can be multiple ways of like, you know, answering your question. And when it like comes to the question that I have asked about like, you know, the spy agency of Israel.
Yes, sir.
So like there are many spy agencies across the world. They are equally doing good. But like why Israel's spy agency is considered one of the best is like, you know, their impeccable track record of like, you know, finding and, you know, doing their activities. So it has been recently reported that like they were able to, let's say, identify some of the people who have done some activities 20-30 years back. So they do not forget any incident. Let's say, you know, something has happened, so they keep an eye for long time to come. And like, you know, they have shown that like they have been able to identify and get the person and like, you know, do the intelligence activities, you know, across the world. Like being a very small country, so it has shown that like it has the capability not only in terms of other areas, defense, but also in intelligence thing. And like if we talk about spyware, right? Spyware is there, ransomware is there, you know, so multiple things are there. So you should learn about more, you know, different types of spyware, ransomware, and also like, you know, upcoming technologies. For example, the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc. You might be knowing about it. So this was related to that thing. And apart from this, like I had asked another question. Like these were the two prominent questions. I had asked a question related to ChatGPT, right? So the technologies that are in place is artificial intelligence, machine learning. Apart from this, they are also doing natural language processing. Basically, the way we articulate our sentences, the way, I mean, like we speak our sentence, the ChatGPT is able to like, you know, write in that manner, right? So they are doing natural language processing. So like once you go home, try to identify, I mean, like, you know, how they are doing the machine, this thing. And GPT, what is the full form of GPT? The moment you get the full form of GPT, you will understand like, you know, what is the technique behind it, behind, you know, processing the natural languages. So that's going to help you. Okay. Apart from this, like you're from finance background, I think, right? So
economics
you should
background.
be knowing, economics, basically. So you should be knowing about recent taxation related changes by the government, right? You should have some points, you know, for backing that thing, like this step by the government of raising the, let's say, bar from 5 lakh to 7 lakh. And also like you should be having some points in criticism for it. So this is my like understanding on this area. So I would like.
So you should. It goes without saying that you keep yourself abreast with international developments in international affairs, and all the best to you.
And be ready with IPS answer.
Thank you.
I am not satisfied with IPS answer.
And the other one, equity officer in
debating.
what is equity officer?
Sir, actually that is the head of the internal complaints committee, sir. So because it's a national level debating tournaments that are being held. Students from across the country come in, even from outside. So if there is any complaint that is being done, it could be, let's say, for example, a sexual harassment case, then it comes to us.
Right then. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thank you very much.
All the
Thank you,
best.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.